Hi, this is Sarah from Zazou Stories. Today, let's read about a little girl called Katie. Grandma was helping Katie plant some seeds in the garden when it started to rain. Never mind, said Grandma, the rain will make everything grow. But what shall we do now? Said Katie. Let's go to the gallery, said Grandma. You always have fun there. When they arrived, Grandma sat down to rest, so Katie went off by herself to look around. The gallery was full of warm, sunny paintings. Katie liked a painting called Sunflowers by Vincent Van Gogh. The sunflowers looked dry and crunchy and were full of seeds. Perhaps I could grow the seeds in my garden, said Katie. She slowly reached out and found she could touch them. You can see her reaching out to touch the crunchy sunflowers. But Katie knocked the vase. It wobbled and fell right out of the picture, spilling sunflowers and seeds all over the floor. Oh no, said Katie. I'd better clear this up before anyone sees. Just then Katie heard someone laughing. She looked around, but there was no one else in the room. The laughter was coming from a painting called Britain Girls Dancing by Paul Gauguin. What's so funny? Said Katie, climbing inside. Katie saw that she was beside a farm. You can see how beautiful this farm is. The girls who were called Maisie, Musette, and Mimi giggled and pointed to the mess in the gallery. You'll be in trouble if anyone finds out, Mimi said. Well, I didn't mean to knock over the vase, said Katie. I don't suppose you could help me clear it all up. We're too tired, said Maisie. We've been dancing all day, said Mizet. What about you? Said Katie to Mimi. Only if I can bring Zazou, said Mimi, picking up her dog. I suppose it's all right, said Katie. Let's go. So they went through the frame and into the gallery. Mimi and Katie gathered up the sunflowers, but Zazou wanted to play. He snatched the sunflowers away in his mouth and ran off with them. How can we put the picture back together now? Said Katie crossly. I'm sorry, mon ami, said Mimi. Let's try to catch him. They chased Zazou, but he was too quick for them. He suddenly took a flying leap towards a painting called Cafe Terrace at Night by Vincent Van Gogh and disappeared inside. So this is the Cafe Terrace at Night. Katie and Mimi jumped in after him. Zazou refused to let go of the sunflowers. He darted in and out of the tables and chairs, knocking plates and cups flying. Then Zazou ran between the waiter's legs. Zat alors, said the waiter, dropping a plate of iced cake. He was very angry. He chased Katie, Mimi, and Zazou right through the frame and back into the gallery. What are we going to do? Panted Mimi. I've got an idea, said Katie, pointing to a painting by Paul Cézanne. It was called Still Life with Apples and Oranges. Come on, I need your help. Katie put her hand into the painting and grabbed one end of a cloth. She told Mimi to hold the other end. Now pull, yelled Katie. The bowls of fruit tipped up and the apples and oranges came tumbling into the gallery, just as the waiter caught up with them. He slipped on the fruit and spun around till he was dizzy. Zat alors, he yelled. I wonder where Zazou went, said Mimi. He must be here somewhere, said Katie as they dashed away. Alas, said Mimi, I shall never find him and he'll be lost in the gallery forever. Nonsense, said Katie. I can hear a dog barking. They followed the noise, and there at the end of the corridor was Zazou. He had dropped the sunflowers and was barking at a bright red dog in a painting called Tahitian Pastorals by Paul Gauguin. The other dog barked back, and Zazu jumped inside the picture. Your dog is nothing but trouble, said Katy as they clambered after him. Zazu and the red dog barked at one another, wagging their tails. Welcome to our island, said two beautiful women. It was very peaceful, full of scented lilies and blossom, with the sea lapping on the beach. Phew, said Katy, it was very hot here. Let's go for a paddle. While Zazu and the red dog ran about on the sand, Katy and Mimi splashed around in the sea. Zazu was busy digging a hole when all of a sudden he disappeared. Where has he gone? Said Mimi. Katy looked into the hole. It was very large. Right at the bottom, she saw Zazu sitting on top of a big chest. Mimi and Katy slowly opened the lid. It was full of gold coins. Pirate treasure, said Katy, showing the women. What will you do with it? We don't use money on our island. We have everything we need, they said. You can have it if you want. Katy took a handful of coins and thanked the women. Then she, Mimi, and Zazo went through the frame and back into the gallery. Katy quickly picked up the sunflowers before Zazu could grab them again. We'd better put these back, she said. Which way is it? I'm not sure, Mon Ami, said Mimi. I think we are lost. Then they saw Zazu sniffing at something on the ground. Sunflower seeds, said Katy. Zazu's left a trail of them. What a clever dog. I'm glad he came after all. Mimi gathered Zazu up in her arms as they followed the trail of sunflower seeds. Back to the Suzanne still life, they carefully put all the fruit back and then went on to the cafe picture by Van Gogh. The waiter was standing there with a piece of paper in his hand. It's a bill, said Mimi, for the cakes and everything. Katy dug into her pocket and took out the gold coins. Is this enough? She said to the waiter. Merci, he said, looking very pleased. You may eat cakes here whenever you want. And he climbed back into his picture. Then Katy and Mimi followed the seeds back to the sunflower picture. Katy collected a few seeds and wrapped them in her hanky and put them in her coat pocket. Then she carefully put the sunflowers back, almost as good as new, said Katy. Thanks for coming with me. I'm glad I did, Mon Ami, said Mimi. It was fun. And she hopped into her picture with Zazu. Katy ran off to find her grandma, who was just waking up. Shall we see if it stopped raining? Grandma said. It hadn't, but Katy didn't mind. Rain is good for the garden, she said. It will make everything grow.